Hello, everybody. My name is NicholassRivas. I talk about politics and stuff, and today we're going to be talking about really disappointing comments made by Joe Rogan. Sam Cedar was on the P&B podcast, I think it's named, where he talked about taxing the rich. I think it's making it top marginal 1% would the 1% would be taxed this top marginal rate, right? And it's about 90%. And Sam Cedar's point is that we used to have this back in the 1950s. It seemed to be doing good. It seemed to be great. And then the Overton window shifted, and people now look at a 30% tax on the wealthiest people and go crazy. I can't believe you're taxing it. Joe Rogan is one of those people where he saw that video, he commented, and he called Sam Cedar a fucking idiot. Sam Cedar responded and said, "Hey, bud, this is why you're wrong." And I agree with Sam Cedar, and I am disappointed with Joe because he used to be this kind of everyday man, and many have said this, that he's just changed up. He has become hyper focused on right leaning economics. Now, understandably, because he's very wealthy, it's benefiting him. And that's where I think of this as I don't think he's thinking logically. I don't think he's thinking about the utilitarian aspect of a top marginal tax rate. I think we saw benefits when millionaires and billionaires were putting in what they should be. Now there's this idea that we should have just this flat tax rate, which I just cannot comprehend. I think we could have a better society and more funds, because that's the constant issue we hear is we don't have enough funds, because of a higher tax rate on the wealthy. Now, it's easy for me to say this. I understand the main critique is you'll never get that, or you don't have that. Who are you to say? But if imagine you said that for any other situation, and I think that's why I'm so angry at Joe. I don't think Sam Cedar is ever going to become a billionaire, but anything can happen. But that shouldn't disqualify you from conversations. I think it's as dumb as when someone says like, "You will never understand the women's issues. You can't speak on it." That's, I guess, mainly true. But what we're talking about is issues that affect everyone. So if I'm talking about an issue that pertains to a woman only, I guess there's a lot of stuff I just can't comprehend. But if I'm talking about, Medicare for all, that doesn't matter if you're a fucking woman or not. And so this is where we're at with this conversation of the tax rate of being taxed that much. I'm probably never going to get there. So people's opinions definitely do matter. But the end goal, to get proper funding, it's going to affect everyone. So yeah, I mean, why is that? Why am I not in that conversation anymore? That shouldn't disqualify me. And I think Joe's distaste for the government is justified. It seems like funding goes to wars before it's to feed the poor. But I don't think that means you should just give up and not try to get better funding. I mean, as we speak right now, in the 1950s, the tax rate was 90% for the 1%. The top marginal tax rate was 91%. It's gradually been going down, and then eventually with Reagan, it hit 30s, right? And I think it's just been going down since. I know there's a push and pull where like Trump cut it, but then Obama went back, but barely. It's not like he did anything, or not Obama, Biden did it to go back up to where it was, but even then, that was a big cut from Obama. So it's not like we're seeing a better society because of it. We've been going down. We've been seeing the tax rate decrease, and it seems like it's getting worse. It seems like places don't have funding. It seems like left and right people are going to private because our public is just awful. And I think back in the day, many would have said it was better for them. And I wholeheartedly believe that it's because of the Reagan administration cutting it. If you think 90% is too high, which honestly I know it sounds scary, I don't think it is anymore. Given that we had so much successes in the 1950s with the space program, with our defense, it looked to be a prosperous time. So I know it's a fallacy to just say it correlates. It was good then, so this is why it was good. I know there was a multitude of factors, but I think one of the big hurdles we run through every day is funding. I know for schools, like I'm constantly hearing how schools don't have funding, and it's one of the key moments in our society that we're not giving a damn about. I understand that there should be critiques of how money is divided up. Is that tax rate just going to go to schools, or is it going to go to wars? Probably a mix of both. But I think let's attack the issue at first, and then we can jump around. I do believe there is a critique that the money isn't going to be allocated correctly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dumb it down. But it seems like, well, there's nothing we can do. It's just going to be allocated poorly. And then we don't move forward. Like if we knew that the 90% tax rate would benefit, Would people take it? I hope so, right? Like if we changed up the government and we got that tax rate, would those same people be complaining still? I don't know. And so I think we can address these issues. I think we that's a separate issue. Is the allocation of money should be changed up by the voting of politicians. Again, another issue that we have to run through and discuss. But I think the sentiment that Joe had, that disgust for Sam, for just wanting to provide better funding for our roads, for our schools, that's the idea of the higher tax rate. That's it. Right. I mean, that's just basic economics when it comes to the taxation of our society. If you tax people higher in the top marginal, it was beneficial. We saw it economically. It was beneficial. And as time progresses, we're seeing that places like Amazon made record breaking profits at the same time people were being furloughed, let go, and losing money. And it just shows that there's this wealth disparity that isn't going to be fixed if we just do nothing. If we just keep going down this path, it seems like it's worsening. So if we can just kind of get them to pay back what they should pay, if we just get them on a straight like line of, hey, you're paying consistently, because even then it may seem like, well, billionaires are paying more per capita. They're paying about more. I'm paying about more than someone like a Trump who paid $0 in income tax. And so I know it's not clear cut. I know he does pay more in the long run, but even then I'm looking at it. I feel like this is logical to say this is per capita. Per capita, I know this motherfucker's $1 million that he might have lost in taxes is a drop in the bucket. Why is that being compared to myself? Like, I feel like this is a critique that's fair to have against these wealthy people. And to be real too, is beyond that, they have more of a say politically than I ever will. My vote is just my vote. I'm not donating to campaigns left and right, and they are. And I think that's another detriment to our system. If we want to talk about the allocation of money, we got to quit electing these people like the corporatists and the oligarch lovers. But the only way to do that is to cut it at the damn rich motherfuckers who control it. And that's all Sam Cedar was saying. Everything I just said is regurgitated points from Sam Cedar. So it just disappoints me to hear that. I think if I were to talk to Joe and we did pound for pound policy, I feel like he would agree with me. So that's why it just kind of mind boggling that it just seems like he's going against some of his beliefs. Definitely a trend I'm seeing, like when he started supporting Ron DeSantis, even though Ron DeSantis is the biggest anti-weed guy and Rogan is not. Rogan is a big, pro-weed guy. So it's weird. It's weird to see this flip, and I just genuinely believe it's economic decorum, takes over everything. Economic desires, man. Like you can meet the most, socially liberal person, but the minute economics come, they can become very right-leaning, and I just disagree with it. I don't think it's good. I think we've been on the path of right-leaning economics from Reaganomics to the Obama era. We've been doing right-leaning economics. I don't see a world where you can argue we're doing left-wing and it's getting better. Like the right wing that we have now is making us better. I just don't. I don't see it. But we'll end it there. Thank y'all very much.